I'm Dr. Warren Bruhl, and in this short video I'm going to be explaining to you a great warm-up technique that you can use prior to your workouts. You'll notice I'm using a flat surface and I'm holding the BuffEnuff by the battery and by the top handle, wrapping it around the body, covering as much surface area as possible. This is really important prior to a workout to get as much surface area covered as you possibly can, because in our thermography research studies we've shown that when you use the BuffEnuff for a 3-minute massage, you're able to increase the surface temperatures and the muscular temperatures anywhere between 1 and 3 degrees. So you want to cover as much surface area as you possibly can. Now I'm using the tilted surface and running it right along the spine using the clearing technique. This is called clearing technique, and the prior technique was wrapping because we were trying to cover as much area as possible. Now applying deep pressures. Notice my hands are right on top of the buffer, applying deep downward pressure. This is called grounding, and now we'll be moving into sparking to create extra kinetic energy between the surface of the buffer. Now you turn it perpendicularly, and this is called squaring for trigger points. And if you move it one spot to the next, that's called square dancing. So I'm going to do the square dancing technique on both sides and the sparking. So sparking and then squaring are the ways that you use the BuffEnuff to really work with trigger points. Now, you'll notice what I'm doing now is using a technique called scooping, and if you have a hood or a towel, you can put it over the top of the head. You want to make sure you keep away from the hair when you're using the buffer, and the buffer feels amazing on the head. You wouldn't want to use this if you have dizziness or vertigo problems, but otherwise you just use a very light contact as you cover the areas around the head. Now going right into the drumming technique. The drumming is excellent if there's any kind of congestion in the chest, and again, it's very invigorating to the body. It helps the circulation, sort of like the massage technique is called cupping, but we call this drumming when you're using the buffer in this way. Now you take the tilted edge or the edge of the buffer, and you're going to be taking it along and across the spine. That's called striping. Now using some grounding technique with the edge of the buffer into the shoulder and grounding onto the middle of the back, and now again some edge onto the back of the shoulder right on those insertion points of the teres major muscle on the back. Now going down to the legs, some clearing technique on the calves, and he's going to raise his leg up, and I got the tilted contact right on the gluteal on the piriformis, and I'm asking him now to do some active motion on his leg. This is called hinging. See, he's moving his leg back and forth, while I am holding the buffer with the tilted contact right on the gluteal muscle. Going to go over to the other side, same thing. Active involvement. And again, the great thing about the buffer, notice there's no cords at all, so how easy it is to move it. Notice that there's a handle on the top. You can push on the body of it as well. You can hold it by the handle grip, or you can hold it by the battery. See, I'm holding it by the battery right now. Multiple ways to hold this tool. Now getting up into the hamstring insertion point as he hinges the leg, so we can really work that tension out of that upper hamstring muscle prior to his workout. He is a kickboxer, and so he does a lot of kicks. He needs to have that lower half of the body loose. Applying grounding technique. Notice the contact I'm holding on top of the buffer and by the handle. Once again, going back to the drumming technique. And it just feels amazing. I can tell you right now that this guy is so relaxed. But a minute after that, he got up and said, "This feels amazing." And he had a great workout. Now we're using the drumming technique again and the jumping technique, and going to finish again with some waterfall technique on top of the head, using that hood over the top of the head. Definitely very relaxed at this point, feeling amazing. And using the hands to do a little bit of massage. That's called partnering, whenever you use the hands or any other modality or instrument simultaneously with the BuffEnuff. Just feels amazing. In 5 minutes, he's going to be relaxed completely. And studies have shown that this helps to reduce delayed onset muscle soreness when you have vibration and massage prior to exercise. So it's better to use the BuffEnuff prior to your exercise and afterwards. This is a great way to warm your body up and feel amazing. And I can tell you, this guy's going to have a great workout right now, my buddy Chip. So, hey, be fit, be be flexible and be ready with BuffEnuff.